Well, good morning, and today you join me, well, I'm back in Cornwall. I'm in Charlestown, and I'm just overlooking probably one of the best views I've found so far. But this vlog isn't about landscape photography, it's about something different, and I said on my last couple of vlogs this one would be slightly different, and it will be. I'll explain more in a little bit, but first let's try and get the sunrise. So the last vlog I did from here, I was stood on sort of a start of a pathway it's a coastal path that goes all the way around to the next couple of coves, and I was quite disappointed because it was actually blocked off, and it was all to do with erosion. Cliff erosion has happened massively along here over the last couple of years. Now apparently, whilst I was here, they were finishing off this path I'm actually stood on now, and this is the new coastal path. It's a little bit further inland than the original one, but the original one actually just leaves and goes off and into the sea, so it's probably better sticking to this one. Yeah, I found out yesterday they actually completed, I think it was about 2 or 3 days after I left, so yeah, I wasn't to know, but yeah, here we are, we're stood on it, and yesterday myself and Sarah had a walk across, and beautiful, absolutely beautiful location to come, not only to do some photography but just enjoy the walks and the beaches, and oh, it's another world around here. So whilst I was on that coastal path, I discovered this little area, and there's a bit of a sort of fern tree just down there, quite a common sight in Cornwall, and it sort of just, yeah, it grabbed me straight away. So I took an iPhone shot, and I thought I'd come back in the morning and do a sunrise. I don't think we're going to get a good sunrise, but it tempted me, it teased me the other day actually. I was in one of the other coasts, Crinnis Beach, and the same sort of weather conditions happened. Then the rain came, really heavy rain. I had to take shelter for a little bit, but then it just opened up, and it had probably one of the most glorious mornings that I've ever had. Those of you who follow me on Facebook, you'll see a couple of those images, but yeah, I'll put a couple of those up now, and let me know what you think. So I've just perched the camera just over the fence here. So the composition I'm working on here is really quite simple. I've got this this sort of fern, sort of pine tree in the foreground, leading onto the sea, and it's a bit of a U shape. This cove, as the majority are, but yeah, a bit of a U shape. So I'm doing a bit of a long exposure, bracketing the shot as well, and yeah, just hoping for a little bit of nice light just over in the distance. Fingers crossed, we'll see what we get. So as I said, it's all about teasing on this coast, and it's done exactly that. I'm not sure if you can see in the distance, there's a very thin sliver of light, and yeah, I could see the sun coming up just behind the clouds, and it's gone above the clouds now, and it's kind of given us nothing, absolutely nothing. I was hoping for a bit of light just to ignite the underneath of these clouds here, but it's not to be. And I was thinking to myself, this is a failed shoot, but actually when you ask the question, is it ever really a failed shoot? Yes, I've not got the weather conditions I wanted. Yes, I could have done with a little bit more drama in the sky, but yeah, just sort of stood here now, taking images. Does it really matter if we come away with an absolute banger, I hate that word, banger of an image, or is it just all about being here and sort of enjoying the time that we have whilst we're out actually taking these images? What's more important? When we walked through this wooded area yesterday, the light was fantastic. It was sort of low level light shining up on the trees, and yeah, really giving a lovely sort of almost romantic feel. Today it's almost creepy and a bit spooky with the wind and yeah, this dull lighting. Oh, try again with this dull lighting condition. So yeah, I'm going to just venture on a little bit further just on this path, just overlook the next bay, and yeah, just sort of see what I can get. But I think I'm going to wrap up and head back, and we'll start the vlog properly. See you in a little bit. Well, hello and welcome back, and welcome to the cottage. And the reason why I've brought you here is, well, it's quite special, and it's quite a nice little story, this. So getting quite close. So last time we were in Charlestown, which I did a vlog from here, and we're here actually purely on a holiday. I was actually filming the Charlestown vlog just down the road there, and yeah, sort of thought nothing of that morning. I got there around about 6:30, 7:15, started shooting, did a couple of images, and started doing the B-roll and the footage for the video, and yeah, Sarah came down to join me about an hour later, and yeah, we were just sort of looking around, and it was a beautiful sunrise, and yeah, we're just sort of really taking it all in. And as the sunrise started to hit, I thought, right, I need to go off and get a few more images and really make that vlog pop, because after all, this is a beautiful town. One of the images I was trying to take, which I didn't feature on the vlog, was one of the harbour, sort of low down, and a few people were sort of passing through. And this guy walked past and actually very kindly asked, "I'm not in your shot, am I?" We had a bit of a joke about it, and yeah, I carried on shooting, but Sarah actually ended up striking a conversation with this guy. Gosh, the wind's really started to build up. What I didn't realise at the time is that Sarah was actually sort of selling me as a photographer. They were talking about different images around the area, and yeah, different weather conditions and how beautiful Charlestown was, or is. But the conversation soon changed naturally, and this guy started talking about a holiday home he had here, one he rented out through Airbnb. Cut a long story short, after a couple of meetings, a walk around his cottage, I decided, yes, I'm going to take some images for him. We had a good chat about marketing and the way that I could really sort of get some images from this place, this property, and yeah, sort of bring it out in its best. He mentioned how he was struggling to get clients in the winter, sort of October onwards really. So automatically got me thinking of what sort of images I'm going to take. And we soon sort of understood that we had to take warm, inviting images. And this is what the whole process of this week is all about. And this is why this video is all about taking opportunities whilst you can. Because bottom line, from that one conversation that Sarah had with a gent who's walking his dog in the morning, we've ended up coming back to Charlestown, spending a week here to do some promotional material. Now, I'm certainly not going to go into the details of money and how much I've charged and things like that for this property, because if you're thinking about doing something like this for yourself, it all depends on your skill set, the gear you've got, what experience you've actually got. Now, I'm a landscape photographer, and I certainly don't specialise in real estate photography or property photography or promotional stuff. Don't know where they came from. So for me to come here and actually start taking images as a professional photographer on real estate and actually trying to sell a property is a bit of a challenge. When I mentioned in the other vlogs that I was quite a little bit nervous of coming here, it's a mix of nerves and excitement. But as soon as I got here, the sort of 5.5 hours it took us to get here, all the time, every single mile I was thinking, oh, I could possibly do this, I could do that, I could do the other. And as soon as the car landed, we took the gear out the boot, so I threw it into the house, and I was out here taking images just of the outside of the property. I'll show you a couple of those images now, and let me know what you think. In fact, this is probably quite rude of me. I've actually not shown you around this property. Let's go and take a tour. Sort you guys out there. Right. So I've had to come inside. It's a little bit drizzly. It's gone a little bit miserable and a bit too windy out there as well. But I guess that's the thing of coming to Cornwall in November. But I've got to say, it doesn't really matter. It's been absolutely phenomenal in this place. Charlestown is a beautiful harbour side, and we can sort of see everything started closing. We came in October. We did it was in October we came, and that was almost like the end of summer. And then we've had half term, and then this is the week after half term. So everything is really starting to close down. And that kind of adds to it. It has become more of a local sort of place. And what we found has happened here, we've kind of given our hearts to this place. It's one of those towns that's very small. It's connected to St Austell. So I grew up in St Austell, so I know the town very well. But because it's almost like a small community, there's something magical about it. But it's things like we've been nipping into the pub after we've taken a few shots. We've had a bit of a walk around. We've been exploring the coastal roads, etc., the coastal paths. And yeah, just really exploring the whole countryside around here. And we've been meeting people that we saw in the pub last night, and it struck up a little bit of a conversation. And there's that real warmth here. It's something that only a few places have, and it's quite unique. Another interesting feature about this property is just through that wall there's actually a coffee shop. There's a full coffee shop on the front of the building. Now, we sort of sleep above the coffee shop, but this place, BB's at Charlie's, is quite unique. It's a very small place, but it specialises in really nice cakes. And the coffee there, is gorgeous. We've actually struck up a good friendship with the owners there, Sarah and Ian. They're a couple that took this place over a couple of months ago. Obviously they heard I was a photographer, and I've offered my services to take some photographs of cakes and some other promotional material in and around the area for them. Things like that have made this I'm going to say holiday because I guess it's a working holiday, but it's made that extra special. Now, I've been run off my feet. I've been sort of taking images left, right, and centre. I'm still going to take a few images of this property. I've done the main features, but I just want to go back and sort of revisit a few areas. Small things like there's a washroom, there's a tumble dryer and a wash machine at the back of the garden. That got repainted yesterday, so I'm going to take some fresh shots of that. But I'm really looking forward to actually going back and processing these images and really getting the feel of this place back. But I think what we've done, not only made we feel at home here, but also we've struck up quite good friendships in and around the area that will hopefully blossom with time. So this goes back to the original part of this video. When I was saying that I was going to do something a little bit different, a little bit unique, I was going to go through sort of how I've shot these images and things like that. But I think this is a little bit more important. And the message, the final message from this is always accept any opportunity you get. Now, obviously there will be people that take advantage of your good nature, but when opportunities come along like this, take them. I will be looking back on this week for a very long time to come. And as I say, we've built a beautiful friendship with a lot of people around this area. And it's somewhere that's become very, very special to us. We were originally meant to be going to Pembrokeshire, but we ended up cancelling that, and yeah, this is sort of taken over instead. And there are absolutely no regrets. So as I said, when opportunities come along, grab them with both hands. You won't regret it. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. Like I say, it's very, very different than the usual. But I hope you managed to take something away from it. If you have, let me know in the comments, it'd be great to hear. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. It'd be great to have you on board of the channel. So take care, all the best. My next vlog should be back to normality really, as soon as I can get back out there and do something. But until then, more images to come at the end, so I'll show those now. Bye bye now.